Hey guys, in this episode I want to speak to you about in particularly poppers. So when we go fishing for tuna and mahi and all these upper pelagic fish, we generally would like to use single or double assists on our poppers. For one particular reason, it doesn't damage the fish too much if you practice catch and release. And the second one is the hookup rate tends to be a little better because the hook has no leverage to be shaken out of the fish's mouth like with the treble. And I'll show you exactly why. So I've started to use the Ghost Blade Soy Hook about 3 years ago, where I started using them in the form of an assist. Reason why is they have a longer shank. And what I generally do is I'll use a solid ring and I'll attach 450 pound of Kevlar as my assist rope, and then I would strap it down with like excess or trash PE1 that I have laying around. Because this is generally not seen, but it's kind of the most important part of this whole setup. If you do this properly and you glue it down or resin it down properly, there's no way that this is going to come out. So why do I use this hook? It's because the gauge is very thick. Normally I would not use this particular hook in a size 24 or below for this particular purpose. Especially offshore. So size 26, 28, 30, 32, those are generally the hooks you would want to be looking for. And it all depends as well on the popper that you are using. So here I've got actually a Shimano bubble dip that has 28s on the back and 26s on the belly. So what you would normally not want is, you wouldn't want when you're dragging the lure through the water for it to actually get caught up on itself. So you can see here, they barely make it to one another, which is perfect. So yeah, that's the one. And another one that I could speak about probably is the Wood Dream, the Akira. The gap here is quite big. So what I would normally do is I could use a size 30 on the back and I could add a treble here if I want, or I could add another set of assists. But yeah, this is really awesome. It's a good idea if the goal is to keep the lure away from the fish's mouth after the initial strike. Because normally what I find is after a fish gets hooked up with the shorter shank hooks, is they're still in contact with your lure. So if your fight is 10, 30, 40 minutes long and you get the fish to the side, you generally see that your lure is absolutely buggered up. So it gives the lure a bit of a longer lifespan, if you know what I'm talking about. So these things ain't cheap. So it's always good to try and keep them as well preserved as possible. So yeah, I'd like to just show you, these are the Ghost Blade Soy, and they are absolutely phenomenal. The thick gauge, and they are super strong. They don't even rust. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Check them out. Ghost Blade Soy Hook.